time, there has been debate over the mystery built around the Efik woman. She is believed to be capable of either keeping her husband from going after other women or snatching other men from their wives. This debate has a group of thinkers associate Efik women with that Anansa goddess, or the marine spirit that is believed to be seductive, while another group of thinkers believe that it is the training that is given during the coming-of-age ceremony, that is, the fattening room. It is heard that the fattening room subject Efik women to their men, almost to the point of not having a say in the home. This debate took us to Calabar to see, ask, and observe what the fattening room does to the Efik women and to ask questions about the marine goddess Anansa.
Far back, during our great-grandparents' era, NKUHO came into being. First, to build our children, to build girls, to build the girl child from not looking tiny, making her look robust. Apart from the fact that there was this feeling that if you don't circumcise your child, she will lose her track. But the main fact for NKUHO coming up was to build up that girl, her looks, her person, her morality, her industriousness in knowing what will be demanded of her when she's giving out for marriage.
The NKUHO is known as the fattening room, or the coming-of-age ceremony. It is one of the most popular and impressive cultures amongst the Efik people of the Cross River State. It is an ancient custom, a three-stage rite of passage for the girl child. There is NKUHO for a baby girl, there is NKUHO for girls before marriage, and there is NKUHO after childbirth. For some others, it is just before they get married. The timing is determined by the family or the spouse-to-be.
After nursery school, from my primary school to enter secondary school, that was when I was taken into the fattening room. So let's say when I was from elementary 6 to secondary school, because I spent, say, 6 months. So let's say a year I would have entered secondary school. I wasted that year just to fulfill the circumcision aspect.
I was 14 years when I entered fattening, and I was in primary. In short, I finished primary 6. I was going to class 1. That was when I go into fattening room. I did not marry by then. I was just putting there, just not to come out and marry.
The most controversial of the three-stage rite is the middle one, meant for young women who have attained puberty.
At the age of 18, this suitor who has already indicated interest, the family now have started making a move into coming in and asking your parents your hands in marriage. That is when the real NKUHO now come in, because you have to stay in another years. Could be 2, could be 3, depending on how capable your parents are to keep you in the house, feed you, because you don't have anything to do than to eat.
The fattening room practice was developed around a cultural belief that a girl child is made for specific gender roles, and to achieve that, the girl child should be groomed to appeal to men. It is said that being fat is a good sign of beauty and fertility. The fattening room is to provide girls and women a period of seclusion to learn different gender roles and marital virtue. Most importantly, to gain weight and look appealing to prospective spouses. This is what some believe makes it possible for the Efik women to see, take, and keep their man, and if I may add, other men if care is not taken.
It's the belief of Africans in general that a woman must have a certain physique. So it's part of what goes on in there. You are fed and fattened to look round, so that you be the pride not only of your family, your father and your mother, but also the pride of the husband that will come to marry. Because the men didn't like slim women.
The fattening room is a home that is prepared for a young maiden. And in that home, special things are provided. When I mean special things, the grooming, general grooming, that is from your room, the way your room is made up, your meals, the games you play, the massaging, and all that. So the fattening room is a really, really beautiful place.
Because of infidelity, it was important, to get the female child through that process. And immediately after that, she goes into, because everything is together, you are taught to know that, look, you are for one man, and then you have to take care of your home.
The period of seclusion varies from a month to 7 years. It depends on the family of the girl. Being admitted into adulthood comes with a lot of responsibility from the family of the girl child. The family must provide all the food needed to fatten the maiden and care for those who will look after her during the period of seclusion. Whilst in the house, the girl in the fattening room is completely shut out from the outside world. Only selected women, known as instructors or teachers, can visit and pass on their knowledge to the girls. One wonders what happens in the fattening room that empowers a simple girl to build her into a skillful woman that can keep a husband or attract other men and have them for keeps.
You wake up, your caregiver will now come in and be giving you training on how to become a full-grown woman.
You will be trained on how to dance, how to cook, beat making, mat making, so many things. Behavioral pattern, how to behave with people, how to interact with people, how to take care of their husband, their children, even their future. So it was a complete training.
Like you said, in that one, it becomes a training school for you. As they are preparing you to go to your husband's house, they will teach you how to keep you at home, relate with your in-laws, how to take care of your husband in all ramifications. Sex, food, pets, anything you can think of.
In the fattening room, you'll be taught how to prepare different types of cuisines, specific cuisines, like abak, ayane pang, or tong, efero tong, edi kangikong. You'll be taught how to prepare ekpang kukoikun, which most women or ladies or girls today don't. The most important meal in Efik, that's ekpang kukoikun. Some people don't even know how to prepare it. And that side is waving off. You understand? That particular cuisine, that particular meal. If you ask few ladies to come and tell you how they prepare, they don't know.
Idikangikong is a pride to us here. Afiafere is a pride to us here. Afang is a pride to us here. They will teach her how to slice the vegetable. Yikong. Some tribe, where I did my service, I heard them calling it ugu. They will teach her how to slice it. If you are cooking otong and you are cooking idikangikong, the way you slice ikong for tong is not the same way you slice for idikangikong. So idikangikong's own needs special skill, and they will teach her that skill, how to pluck it, Because the thing is like this, you don't pluck from here, rather you pluck from here, so that the head will be the same. So that as you put your knife, to just go chop, 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 you pack, put again, chop, 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 you pack, you squeeze, and put it there.
They teach you how to make love to your husband, to your man. How they teach you how to take care of your man. They will teach you how to dance, how to tell, how to move, how to walk, how to comport yourself.
Assuming you were Hedy, a very stubborn girl, at the moment they put you in the fattening room, your stubbornness will be taken away from you, from your caregiver. She has the right to beat you. She has the right to scold you. Because if you don't come out what your parents and the community want, she is the one to be blamed. So she's the one to mold you the way your parent has given her instruction to do. When you will be coming out, the day you are being married out, it is expected that you should know, by this time you know more or much about your suitor. So, after the whole ceremony, you'll be able to talk to your suitor in a mild way. In fact, in a ballad form, not like we are doing now. Okon, what is this? Why are you doing this? Right? You don't do that. They teach you how to talk with your husband. How are you today? How did you wake up? Right? It sounds musical, isn't it? They teach you that your husband, immediately he wakes up, you come down to the bedside with water, with twin stick, soap, and towel. As he steps out of the bed, he first washes his face clean, wash his hands clean, and then pick the twin stick and put in the mouth before he come out either to hug you or whatever happens. So those ones are things that, makes the intrigues, bring the joy of what you were learning there, you are now putting it into practice. So if you want to talk to your husband, you don't talk, how? Ima ufana di asian. Anye mieri imami. Sami if you make them. Ami merebe mi. Nda iman seneye. You see? Does it not look musical? I'm falling in love. So, those are the things that makes the Efik maidens different and beautiful.
It sounds like the training is all that the Efik woman has and uses to keep the home. But not so quick. The question around Anansa, the marine goddess, or the Ekpe cult cannot go away so quickly. Some still allude to the place of Anansa in the fattening room. It is believed that some maidens are initiated into the marine spirit world as part of the coming-of-age ceremony. In Nkwo, everything is very symbolic. Everything that is done, everything that is used, has meaning and explanation.
Based on the tradition of a Fiklan, there are some deity that they need to use and palm. They palm those Hindu, and those things they used to use. They use on the lady, on the daughter, to make him traditional.
Okay, so the white chalk is not ordinary chalk.
Yeah, these are dedicated. Yes. This is traditional. So they have to follow, because this is thing that after even the comb also must be instructed that this comb have to be to the first daughter or to the second daughter. If they make mistake, there are some they don't need to put that comb, because I have seen a lady who after the traditional marriage run after mad because of the comb. So these are the things, the instruction they deal in midnight. And if it's not godly Christian home, they will have to pour some drinks and have to invoke the great fathers and the mothers who were there before they start this. Understand? So these are the instructions which go on the information. That is why it happened to start by night. So that whatever they do, nobody sees it. Nobody understands.
Not everything is done that is done to A is done to B. Because sometimes the woman in the fattening room could be picked by them. And that means by them. The marine. If a marine priest is sent to the parent to say, that particular child of yours has been picked by me,
and that is going to be prophetess. The woman they're presenting, and the presentation of that particular one to the public is quite different. It's by the directives of the marine people. So, because you may see one person, the process is done this way, and the other person is not done the same thing you think otherwise, is by direction.
It's not all the families that used to involve Ekpe in it. So it's not in all cases that you have marine powers having a part to play. So if you don't involve Ekpe and all the rituals surrounding Ekpe, it's just going to be a normal training school for the girl child. So it's not in all cases. But the way you now involve Ekpe and marine powers will now possess the girl, of course you know, that possession is not good for the girl. So then it was considered okay, because the girl will be, according to them, they will be outstanding, attractive, and all that.
Although this is not a general practice, only some families who had earlier interacted with a Nansa feel obliged to propitiate a Nansa during the fattening room ceremony. The spirit of the goddess is believed to possess the maiden. This is expressed in sexual prowess. This is why some believe that once a man has sex with an Efik woman, he finds it difficult to break away.
To me, I consider that to be a kind of wickedness. Because in my community, I witnessed when I was in primary school, as it was matured for the girl to go out from the fattening room. In fact, under the exhibition of the traditional display and whatever, at a point, that same Nkoro ran and left the group of people that was showcasing her to the community and ran to one of the stream. In fact, but for people pursuing her, she would have gone. So I look at that to be a kind of wickedness to human race.
So those are isolated cases, whereby when it's time for that child to marry or any milestone in her life, they have to go appease the river goddess Anansa before she can either marry or maybe have a child.
The idea of linking the coming of age ceremony to the marine goddess Anansa is frowned at. Although it is not a general practice, it is seen as a condemnable part of the fattening room process. Those who do it believe that Anansa will bless the maiden with wealth, children, and of course, sexual prowess to keep her husband.
But don't forget that prior to Christianity, that we worshipped Anansa. That is the goddess, that's worshipped in Calabar. So people can easily associate anything with marine kingdom or is the marine.
Things have changed, not like before. So those traditional part of idols is not really concerned again, because why? They have seen things that is going on after traditional marriage. The daughter will be having some difficulties, and you see some having some different dreams. And before you know, they will say they should take her back to the village to do some sacrifice and some things, that sometimes they fall into sickness. Yeah, there are some that they will finish after the traditional and they will fall into sickness.
Some have also linked the visible symbols used during the Mpoto, that is the outing ceremony, to the marine spirit. In particular, the Ikombi style of dance, which depicts the flow of the river, is linked to the Anansa. This interpretation has made many conclude that Nkwo is fetish, but the symbols should be seen and interpreted in the light of culture.
Yes, our dance, everything about us prior to Christianity, to the coming of the missionaries, has to do with the water. Even the dance, we call Ekombi. Like the Ekombi dance, for instance, it's in line with it goes with the movement of the sea, the waves of the sea. When you see an Ekombi dancer, the way she dances, you see the movement of the back. It's very important. You understand? Because once you see, so everything in Calabar, prior to the coming of the missionaries, you understand, had to do with, as you would say, marine or the water.
In addition to all the gender lessons and feeding done during the seclusion period, one of the most significant aspects of the culture is female circumcision, which was aimed at controlling the sex drive in the girl.
In my family, we're girls. Okay. So my father decided to circumcise all of us, that we should be circumcised, you know. So we're like 3 of us because the first I've already done. They do it in stages. 3 will go together, and you are not told. So a day you see that woman coming, there's a particular woman, one old woman that comes with something like a knife or something. You start running, but you can't run because they hold you. So I was held. It was a terrible experience. You can imagine raw. Taking some part of you raw.
I can imagine.
And they pin you down. Who are you to cry and all that? They put your legs and hold you.
By men.
Yes. Gosh. So when that finishes, the leaves that they used to stop the bleeding is pepperish. Put it. Then use wrapper to put you like pad. They tie 1 rupiah, put it like this, put it like this. Then you come out. But what happened to us was that we bled. We almost died. I bled. My sisters bled. So they carried us the same time to the hospital to stop the bleeding because they couldn't stop the bleeding. Yes, that was the last time my father said he will never do it again. And why was my father doing it? My father was doing it because he believed that if he does it, we will not be sexually active.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
And we're girls, so he was trying to
preserve you.
Yes, do that. So that was a very terrible experience, and I don't forget it.
But first and foremost, we are from descendant of the youths. We take from the God's instruction that circumcision is a must. But to us here, we did it general, both men and women. Or to bring up your child, because these people from them always pick on female than the men. So they will prepare that child, make the child to be something that the other world will pick.
The marine world.
Marine world will pick. And where is it? Is the pastoring room.
I think it's barbaric, and people didn't realize the effects of it emotionally, psychologically, on the girl child. As one who was circumcised, I was circumcised. There was no ceremony to it. There was no doctor. There were no doctors involved, because as I said, fattening room, it could be any room in your house, and they just call maybe your uncle or somebody who's a guy in the house and just pin you right down, and use a blade and just slice off, your clitoris, and it didn't stop there, Now, as you get older, there are many things you do not enjoy. Many times you're prone to infections, it doesn't end there because they cut it off. They're not doing it surgically. It's just a blade and 4 men holding you down and just slicing you, so that has to go. And I pray it has gone, because we in this generation know better and have no intention of doing it to our girl child.
This is one aspect of the fattening room that most people condemned. It is seen as depriving women the pleasure associated with sex. Many are happy that it is now criminalized in Calabar.
Yes, it has been a very negative effect on me. The urge, I don't have urge for sex. I don't have it.
When you are there, you'll be taught that you should never deny your husband sex. So your husband might need it, and you don't have the urge, but you have to give it to him. You see? So, that's really, like as I am, I can stay up to 2 years, I can stay up to a year, I can stay up to months. If I don't see a man, I have not seen. And even if I see the man, if you come close, to be hard before you get to my orgasm, you understand? Make me be a woman. So that's just the bad side of it.
Some married women then suffered it because they were denied knowing what it means to feel for your husband. They were denied to knowing what it means for a woman to come when she is with her husband. They were denied all that. All they knew was just go in there, do the needful to become a mother. But to enjoy sex, zero.
Eventually, in my era, the fattening room exercise has been reduced to the very minimum level. And for right now, the government has come in, so the practice is no longer there at all. Let me just say it, because it's no longer there.
Personally, I don't even like circumcision because it has an adverse effect. You know, trying to maybe you can tamper with the genital organ, anything, maybe ruin the woman, maybe childbirth and all that, maybe at times too, having a painful sexual intercourse and all that. Time stops a girl from having her formal education positively and negative. So personally, I don't even want any longer. Okay. Mother and father can always groom their children in the way they like, in a healthy way.
The tradition is fast going, but inside the villages, it is there. Those who are, in fact, even the circumcision is still going on hiddenly inside the villages.
There is also the aspect of maidens getting fat. The acquisition of unnecessary fat is going out of fashion and seen as unhealthy.
Agbani is in vogue. Now we have some Agbani came up. All our fast girls decided to start jogging. If you go around this town every morning, you see them everywhere. One from the other. So as we're talking today, no girl will want to add weight. No girl will want to add weight. Not to even talk of secluding her from the society for 3 months, putting her in just one room. She does not. I don't even know whether they see outside. I don't see outside. I don't even know if they see them. So no girl in today's digital world, no parent will want to do that to any girl child of his or hers. No girl too will also want to go into that. So then, yeah, it was, but for now, no.
The question of gender inequality is a big issue. The fattening room is all about preparing the woman for the man. More people now ask, why can't the man be prepared for the woman?
I'm not aware of any finishing school per se for boys, but I think the ethnic males also had their, should I say, rite of passage, things that they had to do, like the Ekpe society.
Yes, they did, through their fathers. They went to farm with the fathers, went hunting with the fathers. Then she talks about the Ekpe society. I think that's the place where the men are also trained, taught to be strong, to be men,
The men had their own ways of going through their rites of passage and grooming.
They're not related to the family.
Yeah, not related to the family, just related to being a man.
But they have their age grades that their parents or their fathers will always initiate them. You found out that they have this wrestling ground. That's where they go to test their muscles, their strength. And here too, the young women who gather to watch, and they can also pick their friends there.
The father of the plays a major role because, if I'm not mistaken, it's the father's decision.
Yes.
It is the father who decides that his daughter should go into the fattening room. And that's when he's ready. Anyway. He has the money and the wherewithal. So it's the father's decision that sends the girl child into the fattening room.
If my father sits down here and cook, you won't believe you. When you eat, you think it's a lady that prepared it. So you see, because he was being taught. So men too should be taught. not until they put them in fattening room.
The value of the fattening room should not be lost because of the unpopular element of the practice. There is a need to promote the educational and as well as the formative parts of the fattening room. The guidance and tutoring elements of the coming-of-age ceremony should be promoted so that young women will not lose the sense of being African. What the fattening room shows is the need for the African woman to be trained to keep the home. It is clear that the African woman keeps her man not just because of her sexual prowess, she is built to live for the man. Some say she makes the man lazy because she spoils him. This presents some level of gender role inequality. It is therefore one of the major reasons why the coming-of-age ceremony is waning. Why should a beautiful process of formation take away the voice of a woman at home? The fattening room raises the need to mold a man who can live their lives for their wives as well.
The epic women make an echo in those days. Though some people were seeing epic women as being so nice in character, they did not born with it, they trained it through that. So I support what one of us are saying, that it is not completely. If we can modify it, put the training aspect back to, train our women, I think those areas we still need it. Maybe the other area, who will you spend all that time in the fasting room? I saw my my sister in the fasting room for 3 years. 3 good years. Mine was 3 years. Even my mother was very alarming, shouting. My father wanted it to go on. So all that is a waste of time.
I think a normal girl, African girl, would be very proud if she is being put in a house and taught how to cook. Some of us don't know how to even cook what we call a rikang ikong. There is difference between a rikang ikong and vegetable soup. So a child, a girl will be very happy if they had the opportunity to get somebody to teach her what really a rikang ikong is. So I think those practices can continue, but let the circumcision, it was not a palatable experience.
I am trying to sell the idea of having like a finishing school, a school situated, it could be in one of the villages nearby, a finishing school where all these teachings are carried out. So anybody that is interested could go maybe for a weekend. They would have accommodation, you lodge in, and you can learn the ethnic cuisine and the dance steps and oral traditions. So if we have like a place like that, I'm sure women would want to go in there, pay their money and get those treatments. Yes, in old ways, in a modern setting.
She suggested something that it would be a welcome idea, and I'm very sure a lot of girls will want to go through it that way. Modernized kind of place where people go in, the man you're going to get married to won't see you for a period of time, and then you learn one or two things. I think it could be achieved. Yes. You marry a wife and you see how she behaves at home. You're not satisfied. You would want her, you would wish that she had gone through some kind of process, So I think they would like it. They will not kick against it.
I want it to continue because it's a Calabar tradition. I want it because when they do it, you will feel a big girl. And I'm become a big girl.
I wouldn't say Nkoko should be faced off. No, I wouldn't say so.
You want it to come back?
Yes, without the part A,
Which is
the circumcision.
The coming-of-age ceremony is waning and should be rescued, but the idea of inequality between the girl child and the boy child should be reviewed. Africans are beautiful. African cultures bring out the beauty in Africans. We should strive to be the best of Africans we can be. Nkwo was made to be beautiful. We can keep it beautiful.